Okay, this is not good lighting. Let's get some good lighting. Actually, face it this way. All right, guys. So another thing I wanted to say was during these open houses, so we just had someone come in and they just left. So I have a break between showings, so until someone else comes in. So if you see me abruptly close the camera, that's because someone came in. But yeah, sometimes these open houses, usually they're busier on Saturdays versus Sundays. Sundays, a lot of people have a lot, you know, things to do or whatnot. Oh, that blue those cabinets really pop in this lighting for sure. But yeah, as you can see, I got my rain gear on. It is mid-June in Seattle right now, and I feel like I'm wearing winter clothing because there'll be sun breaks, but it's still raining like heck outside. So so right now I just have this open house, and later on I'm gonna go in and check on a rental unit that's being rehabbed for a turnover. So we'll go check in that. I don't know if you want to make the same vlog or if we want to just do the vlog of me sitting here in the open house. We'll figure it out, but yeah, so usually with these open houses, a lot of these agents, they have like sign-in sheets, and they want you to write your name and your email and you know, all that stuff. And the reason they do that is because they want to check in with you later. And you know, because sometimes a lot of people don't have an agent, they're just coming in off the street, and so they want to check in with you so that they can always put you on an email list or whatever, so that they could be your agent, you know, following the showing, so that they can check in with you. I don't do that because I mostly work with investors, so people always love, you know, coming through and they're like, oh, there's nothing to fill out, I could just look at the house. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead, you're good, like don't even worry about it, you don't need to sign anything, no sign-in sheet, I'm not gonna bother you, you know, be at peace. And that's another thing with these open houses, I don't follow people. I welcome them in. I leave the front door right now is wide open. I don't even park my car in the driveway so people have parking. I park, you know, down the street so that people can have parking, so it's easy to park and just kind of walk into the house. And you know, I introduce myself and I just say, if you have any questions, everything is unlocked, everything's open. You know, look through the drawers, you know, any door you find, open it. You know, if you have any questions, let me know. But I don't follow people around. I don't do any of that stuff because frankly, I just like to treat people how I want to be treated. And I think it's just weird when someone follows you around or makes the like small talk and stuff like that. Like, I mean, if someone initiates small talk with me, obviously I will, you know, say something back. But otherwise, if someone just wants to walk in and walk them up and go to the backyard, and there's people out there that actually love and appreciate that. They'll come in a house and be like, and I'll tell them, hey, my name's Kevin. If you need anything, you know, if you have any questions, let me know. Everything's unlocked, all lights are turned on, you know, go for it. And then just let me know. So I don't follow them around the house. And they go inside the house, they go outside the house, you know, they take their time, 10, 15, sometimes even 20 minutes. And then, you know, if there's other people that come through, and then they'll come find me and tell me, hey, I had a question about the septic, I had a question about this, and I had a question about that. And I you know, obviously answer all the questions to the best of my ability. And to be honest with you, that's the way I love doing it, and because that's the way I would want it. So I just treat people the way that I would want to be treated. You know, I don't want to be followed around the house and, you know, you have to, you know, talk small talk. Like one of the worst things, I'm such an introvert. Like, I know I'm a real estate agent, but I'm such an introvert. Like, one of the worst things I hate doing is if I have to go show a house and my client, like as a buyer's agent, I have to go show the house, and my client wants to see it during an open house, and it just so how, like, whatever time they give me, and I just tell them, I'm like, oh, it's an open house that during that time, or it's in the middle of open house, or the beginning of an open house, or whatever. So I hate those because I always have to go in, show that I'm a real estate agent, and I have to make small talk with the agent while my client is looking through the house, and I absolutely hate doing that. Like, that to my core shakes me of having to do that small talk with that agent. I don't know what it is, but that's just my introverted side that is just like, I would rather wait an hour in a parking lot till the open house was over and then drive over so I can look at the house by myself with my clients, so I don't have to make that small talk. That's how much of an introvert I am. But that's on a side note. I don't know why I'm telling you all my personal things. So yeah, just here at the open house. You know what I'm saying, curled up next to this beautiful fireplace. And just to give you an update on this house has been on the market for I think 16 days now. It had gone pending, went out of pending due to, you know, agent or buyer. So we are back on the market, and it's an absolutely stunning house in University Place, which is like the higher class area of Tacoma, because there's golf courses, there's the water, premium schools. I think it's Curtis High School here, which is very good. Also, the elementary schools are like the highest level probably in the state, next to Bellevue and Kirkland and Redmond. So yeah, so that's the state of, you know, I think we're in a market where it's going to take 30 days to close the house. No, 30 days to get a house pending. So I think it's just going to be a healthy market. I don't think it's going to stop, because we would need significantly, and I mean significantly, more inventory, and right now we're just not there. But I think we're headed there, but it's just going to take month after month. I mean, it's going to take more than 6 months to catch up to the inventory that we had in, say, you know, 2014 or 15. You know, even after the crash in 08, that, I mean, we're not even close to those levels of inventory. So it's going to take some time, but the inventory will increase, prices will come down, and it'll just take, like, you know, the good houses will sell. The ones that aren't are going to keep doing price cuts till they will sell. I mean, we were in a market where agents, like, if an ARV, after repair value of a house, was say 600K, the agent will list it for 700, and 100K over asking, over what any other house in the neighborhood sold for, just because they were like, hey, it's a hot market. And then they would get offers for 800, and it's almost like they made 200K over, that investor or that flipper made 200K over what they thought that they could have made, which was their original ARV of 600K, which just absolutely ludicrous, stupid amounts of money people made. And so now we're not in that market anymore. We're not in a market where if the most expensive house on the street sold for 600K and you walk in and try to list it for 700, you're going to be sitting on the market forever. No one's coming in and trying to, you know, people are making more concise decisions. People are making more calculated decisions. Interest rates are high right now, so a lot of people, that buyer demand has faded, and now we're just in like a healthy demand, which means that if it makes sense, people will still buy. But if it doesn't make sense and it's just ludicrous and we just need to get into a house because we're at 2.5% interest rate, that's gone. And to be honest with you, I don't want to get too deep into it, but that was fabricated by the government by lowering interest rates to basically zero, so that, you know, you could create this false demand, which they did during the pandemic in 2020. They lowered interest rates because they needed to create a false demand. They handed out stimulus checks and unemployment. They created this false aura of, like, this, what we're seeing right now in real estate should have happened in 2020, and we just elongated it and created a huge, you know, debt spiral for the country. So how we get out of this is something new. Everyone thinks it's 08. It's not 08. It's 2002 pandemic happened, and whatever we needed to happen naturally. No unemployment, you know, people were sitting at home, you know, not doing the stimulus checks, not, you know, just, if we would have just let everything occur, whatever was going to happen, you know, like the foreclosures, people who couldn't afford their houses, and then stalling payments for a year, and adding in, telling them, you know, mortgage companies that they have to refinance with homeowners. Like, if all of that wasn't brought to fruition by the government, we wouldn't be seeing what we would be seeing today. Like, basically, you just extended the inevitable is what you did, and in that process, you created like 10 times the problems that you originally had. It's equivalent to having a $3,000 credit card payment and then paying the minimum $25, right? Except in this case, not only did we not pay the $25, we added to it every month, added like 10 times that $3,000 original amount, and then only paid, and then didn't even pay the $25 minimum, and then also made a law that's saying that, you know, we don't have to pay the $25 minimum. But now that's not reality. That's not the reality we live in, obviously. So now 2 years later, now we're out of this quote unquote pandemic. We're out of this, you know, COVID era, and now reality sets in to where, you know, people are running out of money. You know, supply chain crisis, inflation. I mean, gas is the national average is $5 now, over $5 now, and I mean locally it's like $5.25, $5.50. I mean, I have a Prius that I fill up for $55 when I used to fill it up for $30. So could you imagine someone with a SUV, you know, a mother trying to take her kids to school? You know, it's ridiculous. Everything has just gotten more expensive, grocery, food, everything. So all of that factors into the home, you know, crisis. We're going to get more foreclosures because people bought houses at certain interest rates, but the price of the house was so inflated that more than half their income was literally just their mortgage. And so now you compound that with gas prices, groceries, you know, I'm talking about electricity and water. You know, sparkless water used to be $6.99 for a 5-gallon that gets delivered to my house. Right now it's $10.99. Water has raised $4 for 5 gallons. That's ridiculous. That's a big jump. It's almost doubled. So I mean, basically, you know, people who overreached to, you know, afford a home just because they want to get into one, we're going to start seeing those foreclosures come to fruition. Once again, it's slow moving. I mean, this is just the beginning. It's going to take, I'm talking year after year for us to, even after 08, it took us till 2011 to catch the bottom. So right now, from 2008 to 2011 took 3 years, and that was a big crash. That was like a snap crash. This time around, it's going to take longer, much longer, but we're going to see the decreases, whether it's 2% a month for the next 5 years, whatever the case is, there's going to be decrease. I'm just happy that it's not just this ridiculously hot market, because I believe that I had a lot of buyers that were just smart enough to know that, hey, I don't think I want to pay $150K over asking price. You know what I mean? And they kind of stood to the side. I think it's a perfect opportunity, you know, for those buyers to now jump back into the market, because now you can actually look at houses and not be in this multiple offer situation and actually pick what you want and what you like. Yes, interest rates are a little bit higher, but also you get to pick and choose, and you're not paying $100K over asking. So that is also a factor. So that's kind of, and I'll make another video on CMBS loans. How I made a video over 6 months ago or 8 months ago about how CMBS commercial-backed mortgage securities were going to crash, and that is actually coming to fruition now. So I'll make a separate video on that, but I'm already at 13 minutes. So all right, I'll wrap this one up. All right, guys, see you on the next one. Bye.